Well, Tom, it's a disturbing read. Local 5 has obtained this criminal complaint. It alleges the business owner, Michael J. Cannell, secretly recorded a 16-year-old girl in the bathroom of his Lawrence home.
Is that the Packers GM, Bryden Gutekunst, told shareholders that, in fact, team representatives are talking to representatives of Aaron Rodgers. The snow felt more like ice pellets hitting your face, and because of this long string of very cold weather, it stuck to the pavement the moment it hit the ground. Street creds along Old Main Street with the side of this thoroughfare I bet you've never seen before. God, country, supporting the military, and respecting police. President Donald Trump told a crowd of thousands here in Green Bay that Wisconsin will play a vital role in protecting the American way of life.
Well, Tom, I've been corresponding with Green Bay's Matthew Demeny for months, charting his long road back until he was strong enough to tell his survivor story.
I couldn't walk right. I couldn't talk right. It was weird. It was very scary.
Matthew Demeny's life forever changed that July day when he suffered a bullet wound to the head during a tubing excursion with family and friends. As fate would have it, a nurse just happened to be around, and along with his girlfriend, kept his skull intact before he was flown to the hospital. What a twist of fate.
Yeah, I was very lucky.
Lucky is an interesting choice of words for a man who had his skull reconstructed with a titanium plate. Then again, the fact that he's even talking is nothing short of remarkable.
All my family, when I woke up the day that I woke up, they all looked at me and smiled and said, "We all knew you were going to be here."
Demeny is speaking out to offer hope to others who feel like giving up. Is it mind over matter?
Yeah. If you don't give up on yourself, other people won't give up on you. And that's a simple truth, no matter what you want to do.
He is full of gratitude for the doctors at Theta Clark who operated on him.
There was a portion of the skull that was separated from the actual skull that went underneath down into where my ear was. They showed me on the CT. And they had a very hard time getting that out and some of the other pieces out of there before they could actually do the repair with putting the plate there. I had swelling, and I also had the trauma of my brain. I had bleeding and lacerations. So there was a lot for them when they got in there to look at and then deal with as they seen it. But she said, like, I was willing to fight, they were willing to.
And he is also grateful for the community that contributed to a GoFundMe page to pay for his mountain of medical bills.
These people are there, and I just want other people to know, like, it sucks. I ain't much for asking for help on my own anyways. It's something that's always been hard for me to do. It's almost like biting my tongue off. You don't want to do it. But the moment I did it, life got easier. The moment I put my hand out there and someone grabbed it, it got way easier.
Just last month, Demeny started running again. He says trying to work out every day was critical to his comeback.
Every day, I'd go try a little bit, as much as I could. And every day, maybe it was 0.1, but some days it was 0.2 backwards because I didn't have it in me. I was tired from the day before. But I seen that climb, and that was when it changed. That's when things changed for me. I kind of knew. I was like, you got it.
He does, got it. Demeny can't talk about the case, though, because of the upcoming trial. He doesn't know the motive, but he says he feels better knowing the accused remains in custody. He says part of surviving a crime is also seeing justice served. And Demeny celebrates his 35th birthday tomorrow. This is Manitowoc, the maritime capital of Wisconsin. At the center of America's wartime effort in the 40s, and an unsuspecting player in the space race with Russia in the 60s. Where the legendary Abbott and Costello performed to raise money for war bonds, and where the Lincoln High School ships found glory on the hardwood. A city that was working even before it was officially a city, and in modern times elected a native son to mayor at 22, who's now in his 4th term. We're taking a look at 8th Street in historic downtown Manitowoc, and how it's reflective not only of this city's past, but also its future.
When you look at where we are on 8th Street, this is really where the city began. Manitowoc would not be here today if it weren't for the confluence of the Manitowoc River and Lake Michigan. So we're 151 years old. Many of the buildings that you see here predate that even. So this truly is the heart and soul corridor of our community.
Truth be told they actually wanted Main Street in Manitowoc to go east to west way back when, but the bridge and the river brought so much traffic this way that 8th Street unofficially became the thoroughfare upon which this community was built.
And weathered the storm of the Depression to celebrate when Manitowoc Shipbuilding won a submarine contract at the start of World War II.
You had to learn how to build submarines really fast. And of course, with so many men going into the military forces, they employed a lot of women as welders and machinists.
In fact, the wife of Manitowoc CEO Ruth West is immortalized as a role model and philanthropist with this mural at 8th and Maritime, looking out onto the river where the subs came out of the yards. 28 in all, ahead of schedule and under budget.
And they had to launch them sideways because the river was too narrow. The whole town showed up. The sense of community was really strong, and the sense of accomplishment was really high. And so it was in many ways, the city's finest hour.
From the finest hour to altogether out there, Manitowoc found itself forever linked to the American-Russian space race when in September of 1962, pieces of the Russian satellite called Sputnik 4 fell to Earth here on 8th Street. The remnants preserved at the RAR West Art Museum.
And back then, there were enough foundries and factories that it wouldn't have been completely out of the ordinary to see a big piece of smoking metal. So the officers went back to their precinct, and it was then that they heard there are members of the U.S. military and the FBI, and they're combing the area. And that's when the two officers said, hey, maybe that's what we saw.
This brass ring is actually where the cops found it, but you have to dodge traffic if you want to get your photo there.
Instead, they invite you to dress up and join them for Sputnik Fest, raising money for the museum, which features displays from Georgia O'Keeffe and Andy Warhol, and remains free to the public. These days, the holes in the ground are far more intentional. A beautification project along 8th Street is underway. A new apartment building is going up just around the corner.
And it'll be a new road going into the River Point district, and the 80-plus unit apartment complex will be right on that new road.
And then they're making a year-round entertainment complex along the wharf.
You want to create that sense of home because people want a place where they enjoy to be after work. If they're stuck at home all day, they want to go up and down downtown to different shops, to different restaurants, to different bars. It's all part of the vibe of creating a sense of place. Again, that home. I want everyone to feel like Manitowoc is home if they live here.